some books that say we got to kill the ego, destroy the ego. They talk about it like it's a bad thing. Usually the aesthetics. The Tantra tradition, no, they're like, they see the importance of the ego. If there was no ego, what is ego, right? Individualized, localized consciousness. This is the first, you can say, the first thing that the pure consciousness created is just this individual sense, and then you can say it created the mind, because the mind needs to express what this ego individualized consciousness, what it needs a vehicle to express. The mind serves like that. And then the astral body, or the energy body, now we're getting deeper into creation, that gives the feelings and emotions and desires and sensations, and really vivifies this whole thing. And then the physical body, we need an instrument where all this is housed in. Then we get the full-on experience. There's nothing like having a physical body. So don't waste it. Like I did. I lived a debaucherous life for so many years, just unconscious, just didn't know. I'm amazed this thing still works. It's like having a car. It's really no different than a car. You get a car, it's brand new. You drive the hell out of it, and then after a time, like, it just starts breaking down, and you got to keep patching it up, and you just destroyed it, So these bodies are really resilient. I'm talking from personal experience, and there's lifestyle and tools and everything that God puts here to help regenerate the body. Let's get back into ego. If there was no ego, what do we don't even know. There's no me, and there's no sense of you. There's just, let's say, like flatline. This is hence why the consciousness created this matrix. It wants to taste itself. Can't taste itself if all it is itself, which technically that's all there is consciousness. But through this virtual reality software that it created, these bodies and the ego and everything, it can have the experience of tasting itself. If there was no ego, we couldn't do that. We wouldn't enjoy an experience. You can say, like, if you're in a relationship, that vulnerability, in that unity that you can experience with another being. Yeah, it's just consciousness. It's just consciousness. The woman, the man, they're both consciousness, but they have the appearance of a separate form in this fusion and merging that they're doing through intimacy. It doesn't even have to be through sex. It can be or may not be. It doesn't matter. But this intimacy that they're experiencing, that's a great experience, I'd put that, it's probably the highest human experience. That. And the second highest is probably a good psychedelic experience. So, and we wouldn't feel deep experiences of peace or bliss or ecstasy, or just feelings of just you feel good. Wouldn't feel any of that. So we need the ego. The ego isn't bad. It's not negative. There's nothing bad. But okay, what are we saying here? Why does the ego get a bad rap? It's like, to taste this waking up, we got to taste how it feels to be asleep and driven by negative energy. God put all that in there, the negative and the positive. And then these cosmic laws, law of karma and everything, it runs this whole thing, okay? So usually when people, at this time and age, this isn't golden age, the ego gets a bad rap because there's a lot of negative ego. There's not pure ego too much. God still sends awakened beings and avatars here, otherwise the show would be finished, So those beings have a pure ego. They're friends with the ego. They appreciate this individual sense of existence and consciousness. They like this it's fun, and they get to help themselves wake up in another form, and couldn't do any of that if you didn't have an ego. So in essence, the ego's pure. In essence, the mind is pure also. It just gets corrupted with this play of duality, negative and positive, and so then it can appear to be bad and negative, and you want to kill it and destroy the ego. So I hope I wanted to give a summary about that, so it's not misunderstood, and it can be understood through this understanding that it's all consciousness. In the ego and the mind and the bodies, it's just a vehicle for the consciousness to express itself. So be grateful for it, while at the same time we're transcending the negative, the shadow part of our tools, bodies, ego, mind, everything. We're purifying that. And then what's left is just you can say the pure essence. We clean the window. It's like the bodies and the ego is a window, and it's covered with all this dirt. But then through sadhana, spiritual practice, through satsangs, that dirt starts to get clear, and then it's just, this is a nice pure window. So that's the goal, and that's the purpose of a spiritual practice. But everything's necessary. Don't hate on anything. Yeah. All right.